Despite the New York Jets having an actual football game this Sunday against the Cleveland Browns, we are throwing all of that away to bring you a special Mock Draft Thursday on this show. Buffalo Jet Fan joins me on the other side of it. So let's get into it. And new intro?
Not only have to understand how to win, but to understand how to consistently win.
What is going on, Jets fans and, honestly, NFL draft fans? How are we doing tonight, this Thursday episode on the live stream? Thank you all for tuning in. Smash that like button on your way in. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you haven't gotten the hint already, there is a strong chance that this YouTube channel moving forward is going to be consumed by NFL draft talk. Obviously, from a New York Jets perspective, we are still going to break down the games, recap the games, preview the games every single week for the back nine of the 2025 season. But let's face it, guys, Darren Mougey cooked at the trade deadline. We can disagree with the picks or agree with the picks that they got, or disagree that letting Sauce and Quinnen go wasn't the right move. But all in all, the Jets have top 50 picks in the 2026 NFL draft. So what better way to spend them than on this Thursday evening with our guy, Kev, Buffalo Jet Fan. What's up, man? I appreciate you hopping on. This is 2 times in a week for us. This is nice.
I just want to say I was peer pressured into doing a mock draft before Veterans Day. This was not my idea. I'm being held against my will.
Well, the best part about this, as I cheese from ear to ear, I think it's funny because you always say you won't do mock drafts on your channel until January. But this is not your channel, however. This is my channel.
This is the loophole.
So this is the loophole that I have created, and now you're stuck with it. But
I'm going to upload my own mock-off season just to your channel.
Yeah, dude.
Like
I think that would actually benefit me. So, yeah, please do that. Absolutely. No, in all seriousness, this is actually going to be a fun exercise. This is in no way any concrete plan of what we think the Jets are going to do or what we want the Jets to do. This exercise is simply to bring you names to the table, right? We're just going to run through the simulators. We're going to see what names are available. Right now, it looks like we have pick 3, 32 from Indianapolis, 35, and 46 from the Dallas Cowboys. So we're going to spend all 4 picks. Maybe I'll convince Buffalo to stay around for a second mock. If not, maybe I'll come back on later this week and do a second mock. But what are your initial thoughts of Darren Mougey collecting 4 top 50 draft picks at the deadline? They obviously had Sauce Gardner go for 2 1s and Adonai Mitchell, and then they had Quinnen Williams go for a 2 this year, a 1 next year, which is the better of their 2 1s between them and Green Bay, as well as defensive tackle Mazi Smith. So what were your thoughts initially on the trades?
Yeah, I think that the price was just too good to turn down. I wasn't surprised they traded Quinnen. I was shocked that they traded Sauce so quickly after extending him. But I was surprised by both of the returns, particularly for Quinnen. I mean, we were thinking maybe just a single 1 for Q, and then I think if you told me if Sauce was traded, I would guess maybe you got a 1 and a 3, but you get a 1. Another 1, and then a wide receiver who's probably worth a mid-round pick on top of that. So I'm cool with it. Like at the end of the day, I think Sauce Gardner and his contract is just probably more valuable to the Colts right now than it is the Jets, is the way that you can look at it. And probably the same thing for Quinnen. So both trades made sense to me. Every player had a price. Teams met their price. Business decision. I'm cool with it.
100%. Yeah. From the Jets' perspective, how do you say no to what essentially come down to 2 Godfather offers? I know that's been the cliche term thrown around this week, but that's essentially what they
I
got.
don't think people can chat. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I don't think
they can now.
Okay.
I am absolutely brand new to this YouTube thing. Every time I make a live stream, and it automatically assumes that it's made for kids, so nobody's allowed to talk. And I realized halfway through, I'm like, there's no way nobody has something to say about this mock draft. So yeah, I fixed it now. I'm a pro at this, guy.
This mock draft is going to be not safe for work, man. What we're going to cook up should not be viewed by. It's going to be pretty unsavory.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Lock yourselves away if you're going to be watching this mock draft. But yeah, from a Jets perspective, how do you say no to the offers? It felt like both offers were too good to say no to, obviously. And it felt like, yeah, maybe from the Colts perspective, it makes sense for Sauce Gardner, but I don't get the Dallas Cowboys trying to be that aggressive for a guy like Quinnen Williams. Like, does he really? I mean, yes, Quinnen is one of our favorite players. Like you and I will both defend Quinnen like every game, no matter what. But like, does he really move the needle that much for them? Where it's like, okay, now the season's back on at 3-5-1. I don't see it from the Cowboys' perspective a ton. So that makes the trade of Quinnen better in my eyes. Obviously, Sauce came first, and it was a little hard to handle. And like, you're just like, what the hell are we doing? This is our first trade of trade deadline day, and it's a guy that we pretty much deemed as untouchable. Although, if you go back on your channel, we did talk about it, and you said I think you would drive him to the airport yourself for the 2 first-round pick haul. So you get Adam Mitchell out of it, and you have a flyer at wide receiver 2, possibly 3. So from a Jets perspective, you can't really say no. And now, what do Jets fans love to do, Kev, more than overrate their players? Overrate the unknown of what's in the mystery.
Oh, yeah, baby.
So that's essentially what we're going to do. And I have the PFF mock draft simulator already loaded up. Everything's ready to go. I did it all properly. The Jets currently hold pick number 3. Now, we're not going to trade this pick, but in your mind, where do you think this is where the Jets finish the season? Do they fall down the board, or do they end up losing out and moving up the board?
I think that the Jets are going to end up picking probably 3rd or 4th, to be honest. Like, I mean, it really comes down to I think they're still better than the Saints. I don't know how you out-tank the Saints. So I think they're going to beat the Saints. And somewhere 2 through 4. And that's kind of does make a big difference, honestly, in this draft. So I think 3 is a fair place to split the difference. Now, the Titans have their strength of schedule. If the Jets and Titans end up with the same record, as of right now, the Jets would pick earlier than them. And that has changed recently because strength of schedule is fluid as the season goes on, obviously. So if the Titans can find one more win in there somewhere and the Jets lose out, and then the Jets also lose to the Saints, there is a path for them. They control their own destiny to the number one pick if the Titans can somehow win a game. But yeah, I think 3 is a fair place to start. Yeah,
I think it's splitting the difference of what I think. It's either you're gonna probably go 1-16 and have the 2nd overall pick somehow because the Jets will never have the 1st overall pick naturally, it seems, or you are going to end up winning one of those games down the stretch, because I do think we are better than, the Saints and obviously the Titans, but we don't play them. So I think that, we might end up at pick 4. That'd probably be where I'd guess for them to pick right now. It's going to be top 5 though. Like, we have pretty much come to terms with it. I think the percent chance that we're in the top 5 is like 96 or 97%. So like, we're pretty locked in that we're not going to fall down out of 5. So we will see in this mock draft. And I don't know how it's going to go necessarily. This is the first time I've even loaded up PFF. I've seen, I saw you put a couple mocks out on Twitter. So you were cheating a little bit, not putting them on the channel, but you put them on Twitter. And I see how the board kind of falls. And obviously it's only 2 players, but we would assume the Saints are going to take a quarterback. So we're looking at probably the 2nd quarterback on the board. And then in real life, though, if we end with the 3rd pick, the Tennessee Titans could easily trade that, not maybe to us, to just flip from 2 to 3, but they could trade that to a team like, I'm looking at Miami or Cleveland down there at 6. Maybe Vegas doesn't like Geno, even though they kind of paid him a decent sized deal. So like, there could be a team come calling and jump the Jets. So like, that's kind of my worry too. So, and we don't need to go down the veteran route yet. This will be more draft centric, but like, maybe trading for a veteran might actually make sense for this team, or sticking with what they have and seeing how the board falls. So with that, we're not going to make any trades. Who do you think the Saints take at 1 before we hit start? I didn't even look at their rankings.
Mendoza, maybe.
That's what I keep seeing.
If it's a QB Mendoza, it might not be a QB. I'm not sure.
Could you imagine if they picked Jordan Tyson? And then, and I'll collab with you on this, and we probably should have planned this beforehand, but is there a scenario where we hit restart due to unrealisticness, or because there's so much up in the air with this draft class that
I think we could just roll
we let it ride?
I think let me clarify. I think the Saints are definitely going to take a quarterback. I don't know if PFF agrees with that, so I don't know what PFF.
Right. So that's basically what I was getting
Mendoza,
at. Like,
they don't have a QB. PFF doesn't have a QB in their top 8 overall players. But
okay,
let's be honest, that's not always how that works.
It's not how that works. No, and I have this running conspiracy theory that what is it, like big board rankings? At some point in the offseason pre-draft process, they just become, okay, this is the 12th player on my board because I think he's going to be a top 15 pick. It is no longer about what the tape grade tells them. And I think all of the big draft analyst guys, ESPN, NFL, whoever it is, they always make that flip where like Lenora Sellers was 37th, but all of a sudden with no evidence of new information, he's now 22. And it's like, okay, somebody told them that he's going to be like a mid-first round pick. So they're adjusting their big boards accordingly. So, yeah, I'm going to guess after all that Mendoza or a quarterback in general is the first pick. With that, we will start. Oh, shoot. Okay. So I would have probably put it at 5% chance that PFF had them not taking a non-quarterback. And they take a player that's
good for us.
This is a player that's not even on their top 4 of needs, according to PFF. Ruben Bain Jr., I can't fault them for taking this pick. Obviously, they still have Rattler and Tyler Shuck, who they still need to figure out what they're going to do with. But then the Titans don't do anything, too crazy, and they go defensive interior lineman Peter Woods from Clemson, who I've felt like has always been a top 10 talent this year. So with that being said, we have the pick of the litter. And I assume this is where you want to go, and stop me if I'm wrong, but I assume you want to be looking at these guys here and no other position.
Correct. If there are no quarterbacks off the board when the Jets are drafting, they have to take a quarterback.
Yes.
For sure.
And obviously they would have traded for a veteran by now at this stage if we're at the draft. But we're, again, assuming they don't, give a king's ransom for Joe Burrow, and they don't do the thing with Kyler Murray.
Burrow, Kyler, Dak, like we gotta.
Oh yeah, the Dak thing. Yeah, like I don't. Yeah, what are we supposed to give them their pick back?
No, they have 8 picks in the top 2 rounds the next 2 years.
Yes,
is that correct? One of those has to be your franchise quarterback. It's just that simple.
Of course, and even if you end up taking 5 players with those 8 picks, like hypothetically you trade up from some of your spots. Still, of those 5 players, one has to be a quarterback. So might as well spend our natural first-round pick on a quarterback. You said it. They don't have a quarterback ranked in their top 8, but Mendoza is number 8, followed right behind at 9 by Dante Moore of Oregon. And then you have Ty Simpson of Alabama at 12. So I'll let you talk me through your process of these quarterbacks. I know you said you haven't really done the tape study, but I know that you're acknowledged enough on these guys because that's all we've been talking about as Jets fans.
Yeah, so I think that honestly, any of those 3, if the Jets took them, my immediate reaction would be to be excited, because I think it's just really a matter of flavor. Now, the more I watch, dude, Ty Simpson just looks really good. Now I know it's scary because he has a very small sample size of playing. But he's so money on 3rd and 4th down. I can't unsee that. My guy is Mendoza. That would be my preference. I just think the Jared Goff comps are accurate. I think he's a little bit more mobile. He checks the benchmarks of the size. The frame is a bit bigger than Moore. I think Moore is a little bit skinnier than you'd like. Kind of reminds me of Jaden Daniels in that way, where you might worry about the durability. and his ball placement is great. And Mendoza's money against the blitz, and they asked him to run a fair amount of RPO, and he demonstrates the ability to process information quickly there. So he'd be the guy. And I think he has plus mobility. And honestly, he reminds me of, as a prospect, I know it seems like 20 years ago, he reminds me of Flacco a bit.
Ooh, okay.
And people can laugh at that all they want. Joe Flacco has been in the NFL for 20 freaking years, and he won a Super Bowl. So he's kind of like a Flacco, Kirk Cousins hybrid kind of player. And same thing, man. Like, Kirk Cousins has like a gazillion dollars in his bank account, and he's been in the playoffs, and he's had more 4,000-yard seasons than the Jets have had since Namath. So that kind of player that can be a top third of the league starter, and have seasons where things pop and he puts up really high end production, like he's fourth in yards, all that kind of stuff. But it could be a 10, 12-year starter at the position where on a week-to-week basis, we have somebody who can compete and give us a fighting chance, and be in that Goff, Baker, Dak tier of quarterback is where you're trying to get. And that is worth the 1-1 pick if you can get a guy like that. In this case, the 1-3 pick for the Jets. So I guess I'd leave Mendoza. I mean, Moore is, if we want to talk about Moore, he's the one I've watched the least. So maybe I'll defer to you. Have you seen a decent amount of Dante Moore?
So Dante Moore is the one who I have the second most exposure to. Mendoza, I've done the most tape study on. I've watched 3 games of Mendoza, 2 from 2024 and 1 from 2025. But that game in 2025 was against Oregon. So I also watched that game for Dante Moore. So it would come down to those 2 for me. I haven't watched and done the full tape study on Ty Simpson, although, I mean, every week I find myself watching Alabama because they're just fun to watch no matter what. And I think ever since they lost to Florida State in week 1, they've really been a different team. And Ty Simpson, is a big part of that. So if I had to lean between 2 of the 3 just to make it a 1-versus-1 debate, I would stick with the top 2 guys. And I would probably lean Mendoza for the mental makeup, because that's what's going to keep him in the league longer than, Dante Moore's athleticism, in my opinion, right? So Mendoza's ability to diagnose, I think, is very special. I don't love his arm strength, but arm talent is the conversation with Mendoza. I think Dante Moore has a little bit of both, but I think there are, a little bit of flaws with Dante Moore's game. But I will say, if it just came down to picking whoever looks the best throwing the ball, I would lean Dante Moore. So like you kind of started your whole, analysis with, I wouldn't be mad at any of these guys. Ty Simpson, I would probably be the most questionable about, only because of his number of starts. I think his experience, like, should he go back to school or I don't know. I just feel like trying to make him the guy right away might be a little tough, but he has been really special this year in Alabama. So I would lean between Mendoza and Moore, with the edge to Mendoza. But again, that's just more exposure. And I mean, I just think he has it between the ears. And when it comes down to playing quarterback in New York, you probably need a guy who's a little bit more headstrong than Armstrong, I guess, to put it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, Mendoza, just, to me, he has that it factor. And yes, like I said, Dante Moore throws the ball better, but I think Mendoza, accuracy, anticipatory throws, plus-ish mobility, but escapability in the pocket. He can maneuver a pocket so well with his footwork. Somebody compared him to Sam Darnold to me, and I felt like if Sam Darnold had controlled footwork, maybe you could say it's Fernando Mendoza. But like, Sam Darnold just had such unique footwork that I don't know if anybody really compares to him. His happy feet are something crazy. So
I think Sam was a better improviser than Mendoza as well.
That's fair. Yeah, absolutely. There's not a ton of like plays on film with Mendoza where I feel like he steps up in the B gap, doesn't run, but like rips a throw, but there is a couple instances of that. But yeah, I feel like with Sam Darnold, he is just such more of an improviser. He gets out of the pocket. He makes things work. So with that said, I mean, we could flip a coin. We could do whatever. I feel like we both lean Mendoza, so we might as well just take him. And I think it sets it up nicely for the next 3 picks to possibly make a pairing.
I'm cool with Mendoza. That's fine by me.
Right.
I mean, think about it. If any of these 3 guys, if they went to like the Rams or McVay or the Vikings, or like if they went to any good team, we'd be confident they would do well. So
Mhm.
it's to me like the variable is going to come down to do the Jets have their shit together? Probably more so than which one of these three guys they take, I think.
Yeah, 100%. And I agree with you. Plop one of these guys in like a McVay offense, and we could see the vision a lot more. So, like, why can't we just have that vision with the Jets as our guy Mazy comes in? Mock draft in November. Another reminder that we suck, but we suck with a lot of draft picks. So that's why that's if the Jets had one first rounder and one second rounder, we're talking about something completely different tonight, right? We're not talking about Fernando Mendoza versus Dante Moore, although we have at least 5 months to argue about this as a collective fan base. And I'm sure we're all going to agree at the end of the day, right, Kev? We're all going to agree on the quarterback.
Oh yeah, there won't be. And then immediately it's like, wait, what if we wait until 2029? What if we
29?
And then like, oh, next year's class. Yeah, I know next year's class. Please, next year's
Right.
class is made up. Next year's class is like a lie that the government tells us to keep us fat and complacent. It's not real. Next year's class is a psyop. There's no such thing. I'm sick of next year's class.
It's truly hilarious how like the like Danger Jeremiahs of the world are now saying that same thing. And it's like my only argument to that is I have to see who declares and who goes back to school, right? Because if Dante Moore goes back to school, if Ty Simpson goes back to school, and we're arguing over like Fernando Mendoza, Garrett Nussmeier, Drew Aller, and Cade Klubnik as the only players with no eligibility left in college, like, okay, you need 1-1 to get Fernando Mendoza or you're screwed. Right. So, like, I don't want to have that conversation. So that's the only reason I would say 2027 is stronger, but I just need to see the finished product of 2026 before we really stack those two. But I do hate that argument. And it's like no Jets fan wants to wait one quarter longer without their quarterback at this point. Like, we're about to start like a civil war over these quarterbacks because we all just want the same thing. We want to be good, and we know the route to get there is taking a quarterback.
Correct. And it brings some excitement. Like if we draft a rookie quarterback and he goes out there and throws like 187 yards and 2 touchdowns and 1 pick at week 1, we'd be like, we got our guy. Yeah, I mean, like look at Jackson Dart with the Giants. Like their team sucks, but their fan base still has something to be excited about. So it'd be nice. It'd be nice to have that.
Yeah, and I mean, we all remember Sam Darnold's first game. Like if we had like an inkling of that type of feeling again, I think we would all be very happy.
Yeah, I mean, Sam's whole rookie season, like there were signs, and then remember when he went blow for blow with Aaron Rodgers down the stretch there? I think that was his rookie year.
My favorite game as a Jets fan, because my best friend's a Packers fan, and we watched that game together, and I was rooting for losses at that point. It was like week 15, and I'm like, we just got to go blow for blow, and that's what we did. It was 34-31. It almost went into overtime, and I'm like, please just don't go into overtime. And I think Sam might have threw a last minute like pick or something, but he was like perfect that game, and it was like, wow, we have something in this guy.
Hell yeah!
All right, so the Bills. Screw me and my plan of trying to get Denzel Boston at 32. I really like him out of Washington. If you can't tell, I'm looking for a receiver here. I'm not, staying with that because we pick in 3 more picks. So is there a guy on this overall board that you like? Edge, Romello Height. We have Chris Brazzell, the wide receiver. KC Concepcion from Texas A&M.
Well, I know Concepcion is the one. It has a little bit more size than those previous 2 guys.
Yeah, let's for those in the chat who might be unfamiliar as PFF loads it. Concepcion is 5'11", 190. I feel like that's a lie. But Chris Brazzell, 6'5", 200.
Okay, I had those mixed up. Brazzell's the big guy.
Okay, gotcha.
And then we go up a little bit real quick.
Yep, we have Romello Height, the edge rusher from Texas Tech, which I'm not opposed to an edge rusher in one of these spots. Smaller, but yes, as I click in, he's only 240 pounds, and we're already doing the Will McDonald thing. So do we need to do, the Romello Height thing with a cooler name potentially? So, and obviously we're not going Jennings Dunker. Any interest?
Great name.
Yeah, but do we need a tackle?
No O-line in round 1.
is he even okay? 6'5", 315. I wish I knew his arm length, but yeah, so he's probably a tackle, maybe a guard. Yeah, I'm with you. I wouldn't press for offensive line, and I'm not too versed in the offensive lineman yet. So this is kind of the area I'm looking. Kind of load up on defense with the acknowledgement that we have 35 in our back pocket. Although, if you don't love the wide receivers on the board, like we have Deion Burks, Ian Strong of Rutgers, Elijah Surratt to pair with Mendoza from Indiana, Chris Bell from Louisville, who is just insanely fast, Jacoby Lane. I believe Mekhi Lemon must have went then if he's not on this board.
Oh yeah, Lemon's got to be long gone.
Where did Lemon go? Lemon went 6. Wow. Okay. So I'm
some people have him as wide receiver 1.
I was gonna say maybe I'm just late to the lemonade stand, but
Yeah.
but cool. All right, that's good to know because I really like him as a player. But you have his teammate Jacoby Lane from USC, and then obviously way down here, Jeremy Bernard from Alabama. So with that being said, do you like enough of these wide receiver names to look elsewhere? Do you want to stick and pick wide receiver? What are your thoughts at 32?
I honestly think with that second first round pick, I want to go either wide receiver or edge.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at Chris Brazzell.
Yeah, I'll pull up edge though as you're talking. Uwe Ungalale, 272. I don't know anything about the edge rushers. I'll be completely honest. I haven't done my homework. I know Zion Young. A lot of people have been saying his name. I know he's ranked 81 on PFF's board, but I do know Zion Young has been flashing the goods at edge. I think he's a little, 262. He's a good size, but that's way down there. So
It might be a little early for Rutgers product. Ian Strong, is he still on the board?
He is. Let's see.
I think you could probably get him with your second round pick though.
6'3", 211, contested catch rate 62.5. That's pretty solid. 0 drops this year.
Yeah, he's like a Cortland Sutton kind of guy, which would be really nice to have in this offense, but I think we could wait and still get him.
Yeah, so your theory right now, wide receiver, like in terms of building the room, you would like to probably put Garrett Wilson in the slot majority of the time and then pick a more, I guess, I don't want to say contested catch receiver, but a taller statured receiver for the outside to pair with
him and AD Mitchell on the outside.
I was going to say with AD Mitchell, the potential of him as your wide receiver 3. So, okay, I like that vision a lot instead of trying to find a slot guy and, keep Garrett on the boundary. Although I like Garrett on the boundary, but I think playing him in the slot is more optimal when you look at guys like this and Brazzell. So, and Elijah Surratt, I mean, he's pretty tall. I believe he's like at least 6'2".
Well, and if we have Mendoza, right?
Yeah, 6'2", 213.
Pair them back together. So
right.
I think I'm comfortable with waiting to that second. I mean, it's not that big of a difference, right? Mm-hmm. It's like what, a couple picks later. With one of those with Strong or Surratt. Did Chris Bell go?
Chris Bell is still there. He was number 46.
One of those 3 guys. I'm comfortable we can get in the second round. So now I honestly think the way this board falls, I'm comfortable going defense here.
Yeah, I think so too. And I'm looking at, and this is probably just biased due to exposure, but I actually think Sonny Styles is ridiculously good at linebacker. And I also like their other interior lineman, Caden McDonald. And again, this just comes from watching a ton of Ohio State Buckeye, games this season. I'm really, a fan of what they do especially on their offense, but their defense has some dogs. So I would look to those guys first. We could get Big Citrus, Dominique Orange. That'd be hilarious.
That's a great name.
Yeah, it's actually the best nickname I've ever heard. I thought when somebody said it in the chat that it was a fake name and I was getting like knobled. And no, it's actually true. I was like, oh shit. And then I said, what if the Steelers drafted him and he took YA Black's spot and then they could just say Orange is the new black?
There you go. That's good marketing. Well, you take this pick and I'll take the next one.
All right. Yeah. I like that a lot, actually. So I'm not going to hesitate. I'm going to take linebacker Sonny Styles. He's pretty special. 80 run defense grade, 81 coverage grade. Let's see his stats real quick. 6'5", 243. Yeah, if you want to talk about the opposite of what we currently have at linebacker, just from a size standpoint, I think Sonny Styles is that. Does he have any versatility in his snaps? Pass rush snaps. They don't actually break it down. Okay. But wow, he played over almost 900 snaps in 2024. 500 and almost 50 snaps 2023. So he's been around the collegiate ranks. He's not just like a 1 or 2 year player. I'm certainly going to take Sonny Styles. Although, dude, Deontay Lawson is actually really special. Anthony Hill is really good too. This is a good year to need linebackers. Whit Weeks. I think it's Weeks. Dude, I think it's hilarious that that whole beef with Lane Kiffin the week they played Ole Miss because he's dating Lane Kiffin's daughter. Yeah, this is a good linebacker class, but I'm going to stay and pick Sonny Styles because we aren't going to keep Quincy at this point. I mean, he's benched, and I honestly think if we can move on from Jamie and Sherwood, I would take the offer, almost whatever it is. If they're willing to take the money, I would do it. So I'm taking Sonny Styles.
Yeah, I think Sonny Styles, you're kind of probably getting like I kind of envision what Devin Lloyd is, right? That super long, athletic linebacker who can actually create turnovers. Like I don't know if he's lined up a ton at edge, but I know that he blitzes a lot, and I know that he's pretty effective at that. So
I think our guy Like Grenade says he can blitz. He's not a true rusher, but he can definitely blitz if he's talking about Sonny Styles.
Okay, so cool, right? All right, I'm cool with it.
Absolutely. I mean, 6'5". I mean, you have to be able to have like some tweener ability at that size. I mean, because then you have to assume length comes with that. Like if you're 6'5" with T-Rex arms, like yeah, you're probably not rushing off the edge too much. But yeah, I'm excited to actually do the tape study and like watch what he does schematically and see, because there's a good chance we don't have the same defensive coordinator. So I'm not saying a full-on change in philosophy on defense, but they could look to get, beefier in the middle. And it looks like they're probably going to try to do that, at least, with the addition of Mozzie Smith. So bring on Sonny Styles. And the next 2 picks were one wide receiver, KC Concepcion, and Jennings Dunker, the tackle from Iowa, wasn't he there? Oh, he was there at 32. I was going to say, wasn't he there in our first round pick? But obviously he would have been. So what are you doing at 35? I think you kind of revealed it earlier.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go with Ian Strong, wide receiver, local gentleman out of Rutgers. Dude, he is so damn strong. He's a contested beast. He's so damn strong. He is adequately named, man. He's got strong hands. He's 6'3", 210. He plays even bigger than that. I think he kind of gives us a little bit of what we had way back with oh my gosh, how is this name escaping me? How is his name escaping me?
I don't know.
The strong ass physical receiver we had with like Fitzpatrick, he got hurt.
Anunwa?
Yeah. That kind of receiver who plays with the tight ends mentality. That's who I'll go with. And no block, no rock. Like you want him to crack down on an edge. He can do that for you. So I like it. And Glenn has been willing to be multiple in his fronts and use those kind of hybrid backers too. So just to touch back on your defensive pick, I think that way we're coming away with some style fits here for the Jets.
I could totally see the end of day 2 presser. We got guys that are going to play our brand of football. Our brand of football. Yeah. Our brand of football. And you kind of get tired of hearing that because it eventually just, it's like hollow words to a point. But
we win.
Right. That's the only way that it becomes like actual, real discourse. But yeah, I mean, that's to be seen with.
I gotta grab my charger real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're taking Ian Strong though. Oh, he walked away before he could confirm. I believe he said we are taking Ian Strong. So we are going to take him. Rutgers product. I had many a fun nights on Rutgers campus. Shout out my buddy Joe. Plenty of rooftop nights laughing at all the drunken people walking in New Brunswick. All right. With that, I'm going to turn over to the chat real quick. What do you guys think so far? Kev and I have made 3 selections of our 4. Fernando Mendoza, quarterback Indiana. Linebacker Sonny Styles, Ohio State. Ian Strong, wide receiver, Rutgers. Let's see what everybody has to say. You do not want a safety, Maisie. I don't know if you're talking to me or not, but I don't mind a safety. I think if I'm looking at the safety room, the guy that stuck out to me the most was Kamari Ramsey out of USC. So he's ranked at 63. So like maybe you could entertain it with your second round pick, but I think that's more of like a third round pick type of selection, which obviously I know we don't have, but yeah, I would say that he's more of the safety out of the four, although Rod Moore's pretty good. I saw Trevor and Connor on Stock Exchange talking about AJ Halsey. I mean, you can't really go wrong with a LSU defensive back, in my opinion. Missed tackle rate 12.7. That's pretty solid for a safety. Rod Moore's is up at 18.2. Kamari Ramsey's is 4.5. So I would wait and see what you can get with Kamari Ramsey in the later rounds. Let's see what else everybody's got. Let's see. Yeah, I'm with you, Cisco. No safety in the first 2 rounds, and we don't have a third rounder, so you have to probably, look in the 4th or 5th, which, maybe you have to look to free agency to find that. Matty P says, so far it's good. Feeling a lot of, I believe that's supposed to say needs. Yeah, this is a good point, Boss Girl. They did this in this past draft. They took a ton of prospects from the southeast region of the country and schools in the southeast, right? Miami, Alabama, Missouri, LSU, Florida State. So they took a lot of guys, Georgia. So they took a lot of schools, all schools in the southeast, actually. So yeah, I would say that there's definitely validity to this. So perhaps, maybe they like Oregon over Indiana or what have you. But with that, I believe we have our guy back. Yeah. All right, cool.
All right, man. What do we do?
Well, we got some good feedback. Somebody mentioned safety. They were saying we don't want a safety in the first 2 rounds, and I was kind of agreeing with them because I was looking at them right here. So I generally look at the first stat I look at with safeties is missed tackle rate. Rod Moore from Michigan, he had like an 18%, 18.2%.
That's high.
Yeah. AJ Halsey, moderate, 12.7. And he is just kind of he's a crazy good safety. But then I went all the way down to Kamari Ramsey, who's projected a 3rd round pick, 4.5%. So I know we don't have a 3rd round pick, but I think I would wait on specifically these top 2 guys.
Also, I feel like obviously we're not doing a free agency, but that is one spot where you can reasonably get a starter.
Yeah.
That's like coming off their first contract. That's 26 years old. You could sign a safety to a 3-year deal. I agree. I do not want to spend any of these first 4 picks on a safety. Honestly, now I know this isn't how drafts go, but if we're checking off, items here, the next spot I am looking at is edge, a big edge who can play in base with Jermaine and have Will be that DPR would be the next thing I'm kind of looking at here. And and also at some point, I think they need to draft another tight end.
Yes, because they have to make a decision on Rucker this year, right? Because they have to make a decision on Brees, so they have to make one on Rucker. I mean, do you bring him back for like minimum, like what is it, like 750,000 or whatever it could be, like maybe 1.2 million or whatever? I don't know what the veteran minimum is, but you have to address it because Mason Taylor can't be your top guy, and then like we're hoping Andrew Beck is the guy. And I mean, we just haven't seen anything from Smart or Jelani Woods to say
they're not even active. I don't know.
Yeah. So how can we hang our hat on like, oh, we got depth though, but like, do we? Like we have bodies, we have placeholders, I feel like at tight end. So Yeah, I definitely think that's within the discussion. So we picked, what was it, 35? So let's see who they took in between. Offensive lineman, Romello Height, Brazel, another edge, Uyunglele, Surratt to the Bengals. Oh, that's funny. Amari Washington, interior defensive lineman from Oregon. I've heard his name a couple times. Deion Burks, I like him, but like again, I don't think stylistically, yeah, if we're trying to put Garrett in the slot, then I think Burks would not be a fit. Chris Bell, though, dude, he's so special. And it's funny that the Texans of all teams drafted him because they have so many young wide receivers already. I mean, eventually they'll just trade us Jaden Higgins, I guess, because they got rid of John Mechie, who was a second-round pick. So is this going to make way for Jaden Higgins to be available?
Can you put on edge and receiver? Like, I'm not opposed to double dipping because we have to be honest. Like, we don't even know if we have a wide receiver 3.
There is a good chance that we have 1.5 wide receivers moving into free agency because we won't know exactly. We just can't evaluate Arian Smith. Good, bad, and different. Right. We just can't evaluate him. And unless you can see enough out of A.D. Mitchell, you really aren't going to be able to say, like, okay, I like this guy, but you just have him under contractual control for 2 more seasons. So it's Garrett. It's whoever. Who do we just draft? Ian Strong. He's probably wide receiver 2. Then you got to hope A.D. Mitchell is like a wide receiver 3. And then Arian and maybe this guy, or, you know, in the 4th or 5th round, that guy and Arian Smith are competing for wide receiver 4.
Yeah, because we're going to talk about Alec Pierce for 4 months, and he's not even going to hit free agency. The Colts are going to re-sign him. So mentally prepare yourselves for that.
Alec Pierce, you said?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And they
Colts are going to re-sign him.
They just moved on from AD. Yeah, they just traded for Sauce. Like, they're all in at this point. And honestly, there should be nobody happier than Daniel Jones because you know you're getting a blank check. That pretty cougar lady in Indianapolis is going to hand him a blank check and say, "We like you, Daniel Jones. Please come back."
I guess they more than like it, man. They're all in.
They are all in on Indiana Jones.
Okay, so let's see what we're working with here.
Yep.
So that's quite the draft. This doesn't seem to be a favorable spot for edge based on their rankings because the highest edge is 70 at pick 46. So that doesn't seem to make sense. Should we put a defensive interior and safety in there just to kind of see what it spits out?
We need defense. So it's not, I'm not at this point, I'm not opposed, especially if this was the realistic draft haul, like your 4th pick in the, special 2022 draft was Breece Hall and you traded up 2 picks to get him. So like realistically, we almost had 5 picks in the top 36, which would have been crazy. But at this point, it's more like, okay, we hit the needs. Or as Maddie said in the chat, we hit our meds, which daily reminder, take your medicine. So I'm cool with like stretching a need. I'm a very big advocate of spend your premium assets on premium positions. But if it's a pass rushing defensive interior lineman, I think I'm okay with that. If obviously wide receiver, that's a premium position. Safety's not a premium position to me, but again, we're stretching because we have 3 good picks in hand already.
So I would not want to take a Caden McDonald type here. This is like with Tyleik Williams last year. Like I'm not spending one of these picks on a run stuffing 1 tech.
Yeah,
we got Jawan Briggs is doing that just fine. We got him for nothing.
Oh yeah, 6.4 pass rush win rate.
Yeah, his is like a 330 pounder. I'm not drafting a run stuffing nose tackle with a top 50 pick personally.
I'm with you there for sure. So then moving down, we have Jacoby Lane, and then some of the safeties who we talked about. 18% missed tackle, Rod Moore. Jeremy Bernard. I mean, he's a solid wide receiver as well.
We have to start over. We have to restart the mock.
Uh-oh. Why do we have to restart the mock?
I'm just kidding. Just because I don't like the way the board is falling, man. Nothing
for our 4th pick.
Yeah, I'm not feeling too nicey about this selection here. Who's AJ Halsey? Is he any good?
He's the safety. I mentioned it a little bit earlier. I think he is a pretty special talent. Tons of reps. I mean, 700 in 2023, 700 in 2024. Do they have interceptions on this list? No. Oh, snaps by alignment. They have.
Yeah,
That's it. This is where I like it. Slot. He's played 100%.
Yeah, they have touchdowns allowed and interceptions right here. So he allowed 1 touchdown and he had 2 picks.
Yes. So
okay,
he's not terrible, but I like the versatility. He's got some slot, a box, deep. You know, they use him a little bit more interchangeably, I guess, as safety. Let's see. The other guy, Kamari Ramsey, was the one I wanted to look at too. Yeah, so he's similar, right? So I want a guy with more versatility on the back end, right? I don't want just like a true free safety or a true strong safety. I actually thought what Saleh did with his defense with the safeties, although they didn't allocate assets, was good to, you know, at least have them change.
If we're leaning one way, we want more of a free safety to pair with
100%.
Malachi Moore, who's definitely more comfortable sniffing around the box.
Yes, that is a good point. Me and Malachi have that in common.
Hey, you said it. You set the stream not for kids.
Eventually, I did. You're not wrong. Oh man! All right, Jacoby Lane. Do we want another 6'4", 200-pound receiver? He is actually.
You know, the sad part of it is one of these 4, like when the actual draft comes, is just going to be an unmitigated bust. It's but only one.
Of course.
If they can hit on 3 out of 4, we'll take it. If they hit on the QB and then 2 out of the next 3 of these high picks will be good. Can you scroll up? Can you go to where it says first look on that tab up to the? Yeah, let's see. Okay, he's tall.
Mm-hmm. He's tall.
Look at this. This is the in-depth analysis that people come to us for, Dylan Tereman.
It's tall. November. All right. We will get there. We will get there.
That drop rate and contested catch percentage looks pretty gross.
It looks bad for a 6'4", 200-pound receiver. Like, and you're probably not a burner. I think this is cool though. Deep catches, screen catches, and slot catches. I think that's cool. I like that they break it down. I mean, 4 deep catches for damn.
So what is that? He gets 55 yards for a deep catch.
Holy shit. Okay, so he's like a big Arian Smith in the way that we want Arian Smith used now, right?
Yeah,
just that 150-yard bomb every game.
He's Robbie Chosen Anderson.
Oh, Jesus. Jacoby, stay in your lane.
Yeah, right, I'm not. Jeremy he Bernard, hasn't passed the sniff test for me.
See,
I don't like.
This is what we like. 2.6% drop rate.
Okay.
1 drop on the season. Slot catches out the, not a ton, but deep catches. He's not a deep ball receiver.
Just like a possession receiver.
6'1", 204. Yeah. Slot snaps. He's actually a tweener, right? He's got a decent amount of slot snaps compared to boundary snaps.
I don't know. Maybe I'm way overrating AD Mitchell, but I don't know if like a guy like this is more talented than Mitchell. You know what I mean?
I 100% agree. I think with AD Mitchell specifically, his trait is separation, and he's almost he's an elite. Like, I don't want to say like loosely elite. Like, I actually think he's an elite separator. So like, it's kind of cool. And I am pretty high on AD Mitchell, even though like he does have his shortcomings from like a mental lapse standpoint. But yeah, I think if you're putting 1-to-1 Jacoby Lane or Jeremy Bernard versus AD Mitchell, I'm probably taking AD Mitchell. And like even Nick Anderson and CJ Daniels, obviously like those guys are further down the board. So yeah, the conversation kind of abruptly stops with wide receiver. Should we crowdsource this one? Should we crowdsource?
Yeah, what do the people say? What do the people want?
Drop in the chat, everybody, all 113 of you, who you would like to see us take a look at. Let's see. Indy says Daquan Wright, tight end. Oh, yeah, we did talk about tight end. So load up on weapons for Joe Burrow. Fernando Mendoza. So who did you say? Daquan Wright? How far down do we got to go? Indy, you got us on a wild goose chase? Or he was already drafted? No. We talked about every person who was drafted.
Okay, we're in the.
Oh my, 3-8 Indy. Where are you sending us, bro? All right, let's at least look.
Juan Wright, baby.
We'll give Indy. Okay, run block rate. Okay, not starting off hot. Okay, he's a 400-yard receiver.
How big is this guy?
6'4", 255. Okay. I don't know, Indy. 385 seems like
we
just
might
a
have to circle
slight
back
reach.
to
A slight reach
a little bit,
at
a little bit.
46.
I get it. What is the highest ranked tight end that's left on the board?
Max Clare from Ohio State.
That seems still early there
It
as
seems
well.
very early, yeah. 6'5", 240. We might have to restart the mock. No, I'm just kidding. Honestly, I mean, let's just look at best player available.
Yeah. All right.
Do we go corner? I'm joking. I'm just looking.
No. It's amazing that how many needs this team has.
87.7% completion percentage.
Yeah. How many?
And you're a second round corner. Let's see. Targets. 15 targets, 13 receptions this year.
That's not very good.
That's not good. Passer rating against 152.4.
Yeah, we might have to trade for Sauce back. I don't know. I don't know, man.
This is tough. Lenars?
You know what? It could be if they don't. We'll see what happens with Simpson. This could be a spot for an interior offensive lineman, but I really would like if they could just bring all five back. It's working.
Yes, and
just bring all five back. I don't know how does that work though, because you can't count him out. I think some desperate team is going to pencil him in as a starter give him 12 million. And I don't think the Jets
I would
do
move
that.
Tippmann back to center and re-sign Josh Myers as your sixth man again. Like I would do what they wanted to do this year.
See, I would keep Tippmann at guard and keep Myers, and then say if AVT is willing to be the sixth man, which I know he won't be because some desperate team will sign him. But I would love to have AVT as the four position backup on the team. But I would keep. This is the first time we've had like an offensive line you feel good about. I would keep it, but we'll see
for sure.
We'll see what they do. But again, if like Simpson leaves in free agency, this could be a spot for like if that dude, whoever that was, if that tackle that was just there could play guard. But Anthony Hill, obviously you're not going to take another. Yeah, if like Caleb Lamu could play guard, but let's maybe not. Obviously you're not going to take another linebacker.
No, but Anthony Hill would be kind of special here from Texas. He is a really good player. Like I said, it's a good year to need linebacker. Maybe I shouldn't have taken Sonny Styles. No, we should take Sonny Styles. All right.
I don't know, man.
Everybody's saying a lot of tight ends. Is Keith Abney, the corner from Arizona, still there? I'm not trying to draft another corner because I don't want to hear our guy Kev talk about well, AZ Thomas is sitting the bench in his second year behind two really good players. It's funny how these things work out, though, right? Isn't it funny though? Yeah. I'm not like talking shit, but isn't it funny how
I just had to wait a month, right?
And it was not at all how we thought. This cornerback room has gone over a complete facelift. I guess a facelift would mean it's better. So a overhaul, we'll call it for now. Yeah. Keith Abney, I don't know about. I mean, again, I'm not taking a corner here.
If I'm going to overinvest in a spot, gun to my head, I'd probably take another receiver and just say, Mendoza, you got all the weapons you need, and have them fight it out.
Jonah Coleman,
you put that shit away on the running backs. No running backs.
You put that shit away. He says,
put it away.
Fourth in yards per route run as a running back.
Actually, no. I'm gonna
13 touchdowns this year in 8 games.
It's not the craziest thought you thought.
He's averaging 5.1 yards per carry, and that's his worst in his career.
Yeah, Isaiah Davis is averaging like 20 yards per carry in the NFL. Isaiah Davis, if he retired, I think he would be like best running back in NFL history on a per carry basis.
He really might. But dude, 27 out of 29 targets. This guy catches everything.
What school is this guy? What competition is this?
Washington.
How big
is
he?
He's played Colorado State. He's 5'9". 5'9", 230. He's played Ohio State. Michigan.
Where's Trevor Sikkema have him? What's overall player rank is he?
70. 60,
we can't,
60, excuse me, 60. Excuse me.
Oh, we cannot do this right now. We cannot.
It's only
soon.
14 picks.
Honestly, I don't hate it as much as I should. But okay, what does that mean for Braylon Allen? Is Braylon Allen like off the team, or is he running? He's like running back 4 now. I don't know, man. I really running back here.
I think you would probably have to figure out. Yes, Jake West, welcome to the show. We are doing a mock draft. Yes.
Don't tell me pony package. Pony packages is something we have every year. Pony package.
Pony package is about as fake as next year's quarterback class.
Yeah, no one
runs
dude,
it enough.
The Bears have Gibbs and Montgomery. They don't even do pony package. No one does pony package.
For real.
Not real.
Yeah, and you can't even with the assets we've put into wide receiver, both in real life and in the mock, you can't say, "Oh, Breece Hall goes out wide and your running backs are in the backfield." Like you can't do that anymore. Oh man. But I want to take them. Fuck. All right. We're in a conundrum here.
What does the chat think about this running back?
Mason looks promising. Seems like bad allocation of resources. All right, you might be onto something. Isn't part of the equation of in draft equal value? Yes, it absolutely is. We do that out. I love it. Look at Cash Jones, running back from Georgia. I don't see. I was jokingly clicking on it until I saw Jonah Coleman, who I know is a lot of people's running back 2 on their board. All right, Hollywood Smothers. That's it. We're taking them.
Travion Wisner.
Oh, dude, actually fire. Him and CJ Baxter out of Texas.
Look at the names. Hold on. Let's take this from the top. We have look at Le'Veon Moss, Jamari Taylor, Mark Fletcher Jr. All these guys are going to be Hall of Famers. Dante Dowdle.
Oh God.
And then poor Dean Connors. He'll be out of the leagues. Dean Connors has no chance.
But Jaheim White, is going to make it.
Oh yeah, Jaheim White will thrive with Sean McVay.
Everybody thrives with Sean McVay. All right, I still didn't see Cash Jones in that entire bit, and we were down to the 300s. You guys are sending us on some wild goose chases.
People are going to want the deep cuts, man.
I think we've approximately spent 15 minutes on this pick, but I wanted to stretch the show to an hour, so I'm glad that we were able to do that.
Unintentionally. Just our ignorance. Yeah, our ignorance.
The real life draft would have passed our pick, and the Vikings would be on the clock.
Yeah, we would have forfeited. We would have forfeited multiple picks by now.
Is that what happens? They just skip you. They say,
"Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely happened. I think it's happened in NFL history at least once."
Thank you, boss girl. I wish we could, but she says trade down. I think you're right. So I think somebody has missed getting their pick in 100%. What's a mock without a trade down? It's November.
Can we trade down and stay in round 2, and will it still allow us to make a pick? Or are
nobody wants to make a trade with us.
Nobody wants.
It says 0. Nobody wants Jonah Coleman.
Nobody wants. No one's coming up for Jonah Coleman.
No, not even the stingy Chiefs, who wouldn't come up for Breece Hall. So we'd have to manufacture the trade completely. So
whatever.
Are we stuck? Lenore Sellers, send the card.
So, okay, go to AJ Halsey again.
Okay.
And then go to his first look, please, if you don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then scroll down a little bit. Let's see what we're working with here. Oh, does it not show? And does it have a write-up under first look or no?
I can do an analysis. Now here's a guy.
Okay.
No, there was nothing, unfortunately.
Oh, bastards. Because
AJ Halsey.
Because if you're looking at a position where you're going to get a day 1 starter, safety could be the spot here. So to me, I'd probably try to find a safety we're comfortable with, or I would just go with Bernard, the wide receiver, and just say, Mendoza, you have a bunch of receivers.
I'm pulling up Mel Kiper's top prospects because I think my biggest gripe is we fall too in line with PFF and they had Kamari Ramsey at 63 and they have Halsey at like whatever it is. I think it's like 50 something. I think it said Mel Kiper had him at 8.
Jeez.
Okay, so his number 1 is Dante Moore. His number 2 is Jeremiah Love. 3 Mendoza. 4 Arvell Reese. 5 Ty Simpson. 6 Peter Woods. 8 Jordan Tyson. Or 7 Jordan Tyson. 8 Caleb Downs. No, so it's not. Okay, so why did this article just misinformation me into clicking on it?
Gotcha.
They attracted me with the headlines. Kenyon Sadiq, tight end Oregon, number 15 on his board. I know Kenyon Sadiq is good from watching Dante Moore tape, but is he even still here? No. There's no way Sadiq is still here. Nope.
Did
he go?
I would be comfortable with
He went 9, yeah.
With Halsey, because I think he does have a decent amount of nickel. He has a pretty mixed bag of alignment. The pro comps from NFL Draft Buzz says that he is similar to Xavier Watts and Andrew Makuba, 2 guys who I liked last year.
I love Makuba.
Jordan Battle, who might be the worst safety in the NFL. So hopefully not him. Hopefully more towards Watts or Makuba.
Jordan Battle. Oh my goodness, yeah.
But I think with Glenn, like a 200 and a 6 foot 225, like he just and I know that's like lazy just to say he's big, but I don't think Aaron Glenn is gonna draft like a defensive back that's like 188 pounds.
Yeah.
I just don't think that's happening.
So, looking at the safety room, Dylan Thieneman is Kiper's second safety behind Caleb Downs. I don't know where in his big board he has him. He just has him listed as number 2, 6 foot 205. Missed tackle rate solid, I guess. Kind of a everywhere, but mostly a deep. Okay, so we like that, more free safety. And then Kamari Ramsey is number 5, and then Halsey is number 8, and Moore is number 9 on his top 10 safety list. That's just more pointing out that no rankings are going to be the same, so we don't necessarily have to stay true. Like, if you want to take Kamari Ramsey with a less than 5% missed tackle rate and solid everywhere else, I mean, he's definitely more of a slot guy, though. That's what sucks. All right, we're going Halsey, right? I think that's what we should do.
Let's do it.
I think we've talked ourselves in too many
guys
circles.
all now. Let's do it.
All right, AJ Halsey, F grade from PFF, incoming.
They're not gonna like Mendoza, I can tell you that.
Oh yeah, picking him at 3.
Oh, they give him an A+. How about that?
Wow. And they said you should have taken Brazel over Strong. Okay, I mean, sure, you can argue a B+.
Okay, we got a B+. Still,
I actually like this, dude. We did a good job. What do you guys think in the chat? What do you grade it? BJF. We have no more time left in the show. We're over an hour. I was on with Jake for 2.5 hours. I didn't even eat dinner. I was telling you offline. I forgot to eat dinner. I've been podcasting all night. So, what do you got cooking? What can we expect on your channel? When's the mock draft?
Oh, I might have to break the January rule. I might have to get it in there like in between Thanksgiving and Christmas. I just have to. There's so much. I'm so behind on like just doing this mock draft and to realize how little I know about this draft class.
Yes, it drops off for me after 30.
Yeah, like I'll be talking like blueprints of next offseason, like what positions they need, like free agency and stuff like that. Although the free agent class sucks, man. I was looking at that this morning. I'm like, dude, I'm telling you now, I already know in one of my mock off seasons, Kyle Pitts is going to be a part of it because look at the pass catchers. Look at the pass catchers in free agency. Kyle Pitts is the guy who's going to make it to free agency who's like under 28, who can get you like 700 yards. So prepare yourselves. You will see Kyle Pitts in the thumbnail because I don't know what to tell you, man. Free agency is not looking so great. But we got a game against the Browns, and we'll be. Now you can the best thing about these trades is now you can unapologetically root for the tank. We can let our hair down and just hope that this team goes 1-16.
Yeah, I will have very little emotion over the next 9 moving forward. I'm going to be evaluating, basically what we should have been doing the first 8 games of the season. So I'm not really going to react too crazily one way or the other. If we pull out some wins, honestly, I won't be too mad. I get it. Like, everybody wants to tank at this point, but the fact that they have the draft capital now allows them to still win some games down the back stretch, which I think everybody should want. And I'm not going to tell people how to fan, but you want to see that this coaching staff can actually do things, right? You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to sit here in January and be like, well, they went 1-16 and we've kind of accepted that they're coming back, but also I don't want them back. Like, I don't want 90% of the, fan base to say, I don't want this guy entering year 2.
Right.
Like, we got to see some tangible evidence. That's what I keep falling back to. Indy, our last comment, DT 1.0 mock draft. Come April, it will be DT 269.0 mock
And this,
draft.
by the time we do the final one, it'll come right back to this. We'll come full circle. And then the last one, it'll be Mendoza, Styles, Strong, Halsey again.
Yeah, time is a flat circle with these mock drafts. The Jets are so unpredictably predictable with their draft picks. Like, we know what positions they're going to take. Half the time we know what guy they're going to take. Like, Jermaine Johnson was the worst kept secret of the New York Jets, and we thought they're going to take him at 10, and they ended up, calling up and getting him at 26. So I feel like for as much as the Jets have so many needs, it's going to be quarterback, wide receiver, right? For the most part. I know we want quarterback, linebacker, wide receiver, but like quarterback, wide receiver with their picks.
Wide receiver has to be one of those 32 through 46. Has to be.
Yeah.
I would say almost regardless of what they do in free agency. That's it. And anywhere else, like, whatever. I mean, they have a lot of holes. So, maybe it'll be your guy. What's the running back's name again?
Jonah Coleman.
Jonah Coleman. I have to keep an eye on him. Dude, if they draft Jonah Coleman, I'll buy you a Jonah Coleman jersey.
Oh, I appreciate that.
And if he sucks, I'm going to blame you for the rest of your life.
Hey, I'll wear that. And as Cisco says, glass, I guess, half full. I hate AG, but I want him to win. Yeah. I don't hate AG, but one really good game from a coaching perspective in terms of, like, managing the game, and then 2 really big stinker games from AG doesn't really sit well. So let's flip the balance, right? Let's get like 4 or 5 good coached games down the stretch. Don't do the London or the Carolina game over again, right? Because if you start showing signs of that, it's going to be hard to get on board. So,
agreed.
With that, we're going to get out of here. Just over an hour. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe if you're new. For Buffalo Jet Fan and I, you can catch us on one of our channels next Monday talking about the Jets-Browns game. Everybody have a great night, and let's go Jets.
Go Jets.